California is the championship city this weekend. Day 2 of the CIF State Finals, and in Division 2 on the boys' side, Bakersfield Christian and San Joaquin Memorial. We welcome you inside the Golden One Center alongside Tarek Patel. I'm Cooper Perkins. Thanks for spending your Saturday evening with us. And Tarek, this is a rare instance of familiarity in a state championship game.
I talked to San Joaquin Memorial coach Brad Rogznowski before the game. Listen, this is a team that's lost to Bakersfield Christian twice already, so maybe third time's the charm. He's telling me, look, if the state championship isn't motivation enough, how about beating the team that's beaten you twice already?
Let's talk about those Eagles in Bakersfield Christian. They have an interesting dynamic at work because one of their best players actually comes off the bench, junior Jeremiah Skillebrew.
Big, physical. I mean, I love the word he's just a problem. And look, usually you spotlight a star player and he's a starter. Well, how about Killebrew coming off the bench? So I have another word written down for him. He's a spark plug. So look for him to evoke energy into this team when he comes into the game.
Exceptionally athletic, high-flying athlete. For San Joaquin Memorial, they have a handful of college-bound players, but it's Sajin Sidhu, the league's most outstanding player we're watching today.
He is a 4.0 student. We're looking at a potential Ivy League type player. So high-level player that can shoot from range, the mid-range, and be crafty underneath the hoop, can score inside. Like you see it there, about 17 points per game. He can really shoot it.
Let's introduce the third member of our crew, Taylor Schau.
Yeah, one of the other stars for Bakersfield Christian, guys, is Taiwo Daramola. Now, he has an interesting story. He actually had never picked up a basketball 4 years ago. He was living in southwestern Nigeria. That's where he grew up, and his parents wanted to give him a better life, so they connected with the basketball academy there, and he ended up moving to Bakersfield, California, meeting head coach Garrett Brown, who picked him up from the airport. He lives with another member of the team, and he says he's fallen in love with this sport. He says it's his life now. He used to love soccer. Now he's a basketball addict with a chance to win the state championship.
Yeah, those limbs are a little too long for soccer. Other starters today, San Joaquin Memorial, Parker Spees is another name we're really going to have to highlight today.
Yeah, the Spees and Daramola matchup is, I think, what a lot of basketball pundits here locally, or even if you're a high school sports basketball type person, keep an eye on the big-on-big matchup in this one.
It's worth noting Spees and Sidhu, both part of the Panthers 2023 state title team in Division 2. So there is some state championship experience for this group. San Joaquin Memorial in the white, Bakersfield Christian in the black. Hayden Jackson will bring it to the offensive zone for the Eagles. First touch for Owen Jurasic, the excellent football player. And if that name's familiar, it's because his brother Ben started at Stanford and now plays in the NFL. After a stop, the Panthers go to work.
Bakersfield Christian looked for this kind of 1-3-1 zone the whole night. And Coach Brad Rogznowski from San Joaquin Memorial knows it's coming. He says, look, anytime you're facing a zone, you got to hit a couple from range, right, to get them out of it. Let's see if that bodes well in this arena.
Olanri Waju leaves it just short off the iron. They do have the shooters to break that zone. The question of whether or not the shots are falling today will be determined in a little bit. Daramola wins the rebound but has it ripped away by Sidhu. He's not just an offensive player, he's crafty in the back end as well.
Rogznowski told me before the game that he jokingly said they tried to sneak into the arena last night so they could try three-pointers from NBA range. They're going to have to make a few tonight.
Bakersfield Christian possession, last touch by the Panthers. Now, talking to Brad this week, he highlighted that as something that they learned from their experience 2 years ago, that it is a different deal shooting in the NBA arena. And he was admittedly a little bit concerned about it, but not to a level that I think would crack his top 5 list coming into the afternoon.
Depends on the squad, depends on the coach, but there's no question that sometimes the arena and the depth does play into your game plan. Like, you don't want to go too heavy on the 3-ball in an arena like this.
Smith ran out of room and heaves it out of bounds.
Early championship, I wouldn't call them jitters, maybe some nerves. A little hyped up, a little ramped up. Everyone out there playing about 112%. Let's go ahead and dial it down, settle in, make an easy play.
And the giveaway. Trying to find Daramola and airmailed the pass. Jackson sends it out of bounds. Third time that these teams have met each other this season. Actually the second time in a playoff setting. They played in the first round of the Central Section playoffs. That was a tough one for Bakersfield Christian. They led the game, the trail by 12 at halftime, I should say, came back and won the game. San Joaquin Memorial thought they'd turn the corner, but now have a chance for third attempt to prove they can, in fact, beat the Eagles. Daramola leading the charge, stepping to the lane, and the first points of the game belong to Bakersfield Christian.
Really, really nice bucket for someone as long and as athletic as he is. To see that type of composure in the open floor is very impressive and actually kind of scary that he's able to do that. Great finish there.
From the corner, there's Sadu.
Nice corner three ball. Starting to see these teams settle in. I want to say the first 4 or 5 possessions were all turnovers. So now we're starting to see some buckets fall.
Each team's given it away 3 times already. First 3 minutes of the game. Jurasic. Pass deflected. It stays here with the Eagles.
Jurasic clearly, first 2 times he's touched it, clearly trying to impose his will and hasn't been able to.
Driving to the basket, not able to get it, Caden Jackson. Sadu recognizing the advantage.
Good extra one.
Olan Riwaju, first points for him.
Simple pass. Could have shot it, gave it up for a better shot. That's going to get you going early. There he goes again.
Attempting to make something happen down low. A very brief possession for Bakersfield Christian. Sadu from way outside, testing that NBA range and coming up just a hair short. Jackson, a good ball handler that helps Bakersfield Christian in pressure settings. Half court's a little bit different for him. Smith, back to Jurasic. Jackson buries it.
Nice pull-up jumper. Good guard shot right there. All the guards at home, when you're learning to play the guard position, that short corner one-dribble pull-up, it has to be part of your game.
Olan Riwaju leaves it off for Shock. Maybe the team's best shooter. Silverstrom under 10 to shoot. Sadu whips it down low to Spees.
Really nice.
Off the glass and a clean finish. Count it, plus a foul for the UC Irvine commit.
That 1-3-1 zone, it's going to make you be patient. It's going to make you probe, maybe make some ball fakes. So Sadu just pretty much looks it off. And Spees with the finish. Really nice finish. Hoop in the harm. Free throws off the back iron.
Jackson from the elbow might have been blocked by Sadu. They say it was last touched by Bakersfield Christian. San Joaquin Memorial off to a good start. Taiwo Daramola and the Eagles playing from behind early. 3:14 to go in the first. It's the Panthers up by 4.
We asked women one simple question. What makes a man a
California Boys Division II State Championship game. Garrett Brown, the 7th-year head man for Bakersfield Christian, as his Eagles look at an early 4-point deficit. And as much as they like their zone defense, San Joaquin Memorial shot the ball pretty well, hitting a couple threes already, Tarek.
Yeah, listen, when you have an opportunity to bust the zone, they call them zone busters. And that'll make your coach question if they want to sit in that zone or not. So it's a little early, but it's not how you want to start. If you're Garrett Brown, you come out in the zone in an NBA arena, and San Joaquin Memorial hits 2 threes. You're like, oh, okay, well, we might be in for a long night.
First foul against Braylon Smith. Chalk picks up his dribble around a Silverstrom. He tries a long-range shot, and he knocks it down. 3 out of 5 from long range for San Joaquin Memorial. An excellent start shooting the basketball.
When you're sitting in a zone, you're daring the other team to shoot the 3-ball. And so that's going to extend things. And by nature, that will actually create more crevices within the defense. So we'll see how long they stay in it.
Smith can't get it. Alon Riwaju cleans up the rebound. Here come the Panthers. Rattles out for Alon Riwaju. And a rebounding foul. Goes against Silverstrom.
Couple rotations there. And Parker Spees flashes for an opportunity. And remember, it's really a 1-3-1. So if you get Spees a touch, he's kind of one-on-one back down there underneath the hoop. I would like to see him a couple more touches. But when you're making the 3, you're sitting pretty.
Jaden Johnson into the game for the Panthers. Foul on the entry pass. Parker Spees whistled for the foul. Foul trouble for the Panthers is something we really have to watch. Brad Rosnovsky this week told me, we're really short on our bench. Foul trouble is going to be a big question mark. If we can stay out of that kind of problem, we like our chances. But if the fouls pile up, it's going to be real tough to hang in there. Jurasek from beyond the arc for Bakersfield Christian. Still in the zone defense. Getting it into Spees.
Really nice.
That's exactly what you're talking about. Getting a touch to the big man. One-on-one down low.
Somewhat of a risky pass that floated a little bit, but nice touch. But really, Spees, he's running the baseline. And so that creates more issues for the lone defender on the bottom of that 1-3-1.
Daramola was looking for the foul on Spees, and the whistle never came.
Short corner.
Here's Spees as Daramola meets him at the cup and is called for the foul.
Really nice. Ball gets to the perimeter, and there's quickly he sees how open Spees is. Just a nice play. Could have been a no call. Looks like a foul, sure. But great play at the rim between these two bigs. We talked about it at the beginning of this broadcast about how that would be a fun big-on-big matchup. Now, we're not quite seeing it like we would traditionally in a man-to-man, but they're going to go at it down low in this zone. And for those at home watching, every time San Joaquin Memorial has that ball on offense, look for 11, Parker Spees, to be running that baseline and getting that ball in the short corner and watching slips and cuts from the top of the tee. That's how things are going to get moving for this offense.
1 out of 2 for Spees. Eagles shooting 27% in this opening quarter. See if they can find a little more luck. Jackson in the corner. Into Daramola. The double team comes, and he gets fouled. It'll go against Alon Riwaju.
A little bit of a bailout, if you ask me. Daramola gets the ball, but really bad angle where he's posted up. You can see it on the replay. Yeah, see, he's basically almost underneath the hoop, or behind the backboard, I should say. So he turns to the wrong shoulder. Unlikely he's going to make it.
Can't get the first one to go. Carter Steinbach into the game for Bakersfield Christian as Braylon Smith sits down for his first break of the afternoon. Daramola at the free throw line. Splits his trip. Back within half a dozen.
Let's see if... haven't seen an impact from Killebrew yet.
35 seconds to go in the first. Sadu left it short, cleaned up by Killebrew, making his first appearance of this first quarter. Shot clock is off for the Eagles. Jurasek attacks Spees into the corner. Three-pointer from Steinbach won't fall. Poked out by the Panthers. Bakersfield Christian gets it back with 16 and change on the clock. And they're going to flip it. After a quick conference, it's now Panthers basketball.
This should be a last shot opportunity. Move this ball around. What I'm curious to see is, let's see if this offense against the zone develops. I haven't seen Coach Rosnowski use any screens in the zone yet.
And Chalk stepped on the sideline. Two and a half seconds for Bakersfield Christian. They get it into Jackson from half court. Grazes the front iron. And that ends quarter number one. A great start for San Joaquin Memorial. The trilogy between the Eagles and the Panthers off to a fun beginning. Shooting the ball well from outside after one. It's the Panthers by half a dozen.
We need to talk.
Flying in the state capitol, and I got a chance to talk to head coach Brad Rosnowski before the game, and he said, listen, we've lost to Bakersfield Christian twice this year. Yes, we know this, but that second loss in the section quarterfinals, that was a real gut punch. It was by 2 points, and it was the moment that really flipped the script for this team, believing that they could make it to the state championship run, because they never wanted to feel that way again. Haven't lost since.
Good stuff, Taylor. Well, it's an interesting dynamic because that's one of the hardest things to do in sports. Beat the same team 3 times in a season. Three-pointer from Chalk is off target, and the rebound controlled by Jackson. You know, pretty even first quarter in most statistical capacities. Tarek, the big difference, though, Bakersfield Christian just hasn't shot the ball very well. 27% in the first quarter. And they're going to get a dunk to start the second. Jeremiah Skillebrew, who was kind of MIA in the first 8 minutes, announces his presence.
Quality shots are important. Not a bad way to start the quarter there. A dunk.
Sadu couldn't get it. So Eagles back within 4. Spees takes away the entry pass. Sadu. Still plenty of time in the shot clock for the Panthers. Stripped from behind, gets it back, kicks it to the corner. Chalk on the drive. And a late whistle.
Looks like he might have got him on top of the head there, trailing, trying to block the shot. Good take there by Tyler Chalk.
That is why you never get a haircut before a big game. That extra half inch or so might earn you 2 free throws.
Yeah, easier to see, no question. Try getting teenagers to not get a haircut before a televised state championship game, though.
Smith and Jurasic each get a break. For Bakersfield Christian, Steinbach re-enters the game. Ramola back in. Much deeper bench for the Eagles. We'll see if that plays in at all. Is foul called against Silverstrom.
Just out of position, trying to regain position by... the hip check is a tale as old as time. Sometimes you can be sneaky with it, and sometimes it's just obvious. And that one was pretty obvious.
Steinbach bounces it in to Deramola. Feeds it down low to McCrary. McCrary, couple of points off the bench for the 5'8 junior.
Very nice. Tough shot. A little bit of traffic fading away.
Spees just perfectly in sequence. That rhythm was something from the Panthers.
Yep. Flashes to the open spot. Ooh, very nice.
Braylon Smith couldn't get it to go. Now Silverstrom kicks it out to Spees. Sadu tees. And he's way off target. Killebrew initiating for himself, and Strip going up by Shaw. A lot of turnovers the first couple of minutes of this game. The teams have taken better care of the last 8 or so minutes of game time. Just the 4th turnover for Bakersfield Christian. Sadu, bounce pass into Olan-Riwaju. Cycles it back around the top to Spees. Left them open. Olan-Riwaju off the heel, off the backboards, top and out of bounds. So a change in possession and a return for Caden Jackson into the game.
Good flow in this game. You know, both teams from the central section, they know each other. A lot of these players probably know each other. Maybe they play on the same travel ball team. Maybe they grew up together. I mean, there's all kinds of things that melt into this game. And you rarely see it, as we've talked about. Very rarely do 2 section teams find themselves in the state final. In fact, that's probably very rarely happened, if ever.
It's a pretty fun little idiosyncrasy.
It is. You don't, I mean, that's the whole point of the state championship is you get someone from the north and playing the south. And 2 teams from the same section playing in this one.
Killebrew gliding to the basket.
You talked about him at the top. Just the impact he might have. I called him a spark plug. He's certainly done that. He's already grabbed a few rebounds. I don't know if that was necessarily a dunk. He's got like a dunk and a half, I would say, maybe.
You know, his athleticism really pops.
It does. It stands out.
Olan-Riwaju turned into the double team, and Delamola strips it. Here come the Eagles. Killebrew to the trailer, and the big man can't get it, but gets the foul whistle. He was starting to print the poster in his mind, and that printer ran out of ink about halfway through.
I'm not so sure he got great footing. I think he really wanted to launch, and he couldn't. Yeah, it's something about, he didn't really get up. I think he was worried about that forward foot, maybe stepping on the defender, on Sadu's foot. Either way, gets a foul call. Way to be aggressive. Got to attack the rim. You know, dunking is a mentality, Cooper. You can't really... I mean, don't get me wrong, there's those freak athletes that jump and then they decide later, oh yeah, I can dunk this. But for the most part, it's more of a mentality. It's not necessarily that you're going to dunk it or not. It's really that you're going up with the intent to be violent. And that's what you have to do when you dunk. So generally ends up good for most players.
Deramola gets 1 out of 2. Jaden Johnson has returned for San Joaquin Memorial. Jackson Silverstrom goes to the bench. There are 4 starters on the floor for the Panthers. 3-point lead here in the first half. Parker Spees up and under. Soft touch from the big man.
Really nice. I like his game. Operates well within the zone. It's not easy to get the ball in the center of that zone, and you really sometimes don't. You have to feel where the collapse is coming from. Because man-to-man, you got one guy to worry about, maybe some help in the zone. It could be anybody.
Braylon Smith, count it. Plus a foul.
That's going to be Spees' second foul, too. Nice finish over the big fella. Little English off the glass. Very nice. Not sure I see much of the foul, though, but nevertheless.
Smith introduced himself to varsity basketball last year as a freshman. Started for the Eagles team, made a regional final. Bakersfield Christian pulls back within 2. San Joaquin Memorial up here in the first half. Third round between these 2 teams. Delivery so far, 3:34 to go until halftime. CIF State Boys Division II Championship game from the Golden One Center in Sacramento. San Joaquin Memorial and Bakersfield Christian. Bakersfield Christian's an interesting team, Tarek. They've played a really tough schedule, which is something you hear us talk about a lot for many of these state finalist teams. But coming to the central section, they started the year 2-6, but you look at some of the losses they have. 3 to Mission League teams. Throw in there also Santa Margarita, Corona Centennial, Redondo Union. I mean, they're familiar with really high-level basketball. Down a couple points here against the team they've beaten twice is not an uncomfortable position to be in at all.
Not at all, and I think if you're a coach and you know your team can handle it, it's not the end of the world to schedule a gauntlet that you know your team is going to grow from. Johnson gets it back, and Spees on the second effort.
11 points for Parker Spees.
Spees heading to UC Irvine. He's going to be a nice college player. He's going to need a little development, maybe put on a little weight, but the skill and the touch around the rim is absolutely there. And everything I've seen, he catches the ball well, too. So soft catches, right? There's a difference between having to focus hard on a catch. He can really catch and not really have to think about it. I know that sounds ridiculous, but there's a lot of aspects to that.
Tough finish for Braylon Smith through contact. Bakersfield Christian made 3 field goals in the first quarter. They're 5 for 7 here in the second. Keeping pace with the Panthers, 2-point game. Sadu just inside the point. Olaniwaju gets it to Spees. He gets double. Spees tees a corner 3. He is a good shooter, especially for his size. That's the first time we've seen him step out as Smith takes a hard foul.
Driving to the hoop here. Yep. Just can't stand in people's way like that, I guess. It's like a head-on collision there.
Ty Shock called for his first.
But you're right about Spees. The jump shot looks good, capable. And just to clarify on the catching, you get big guys that really have to focus on catching the ball before they do anything else with it. Spees, I feel like he doesn't have to worry about catching it. He's already thinking about what he's going to do next.
Timeout awarded to Garrett Brown. Bakersfield Christian will have it on the baseline of the minute 42 until halftime. Now here's how these teams got to this point. San Joaquin Memorial, the top seed out of the NorCal Division II bracket. Bakersfield Christian, 3 seed in the South. Really interesting difference in their regional finals, right? San Joaquin Memorial beat the wheels off of Oakland Tech. Bakersfield Christian actually trailed Palisades for most of that game before squeaking out a 2-point win at home. It's not to say the Panthers don't have experience in close games, but in the last few days, Bakersfield Christians really had to earn their keep to get here.
Palisades was an interesting story. Obviously, the girls made it to the Division IV final. And, you know, we're talking about a national story, right? The Palisades Fire just over a year ago. So quite storybook for the girls to get to the state final. How about the boys being 1 win away from themselves being in this final right here? But Bakersfield Christian was able to get it done.
Taramola on the oop.
That always makes the coach feel good when you can draw something up out of a timeout, especially a dunk like that. Nice message.
Free throw line jumper for Sadu. Jurasic, who just checked back into the last whistle, collects the rebound. Nearing the final minute of the first half. Jurasic steps into one. Burns it. 5 straight for the Eagles. Bakersfield Christian back on top.
Jurasic plays a little attitude, huh?
Plays like a tight end out there.
Yeah, man. Hits the 3 ball. Throws up some gestures, sticks his tongue out. I like it.
I'm not sure you learned that on the family farm.
Yeah, man, nice shot.
40 seconds. Sadu backs out. Spees. Foul before the shot attempt.
Oh, yeah.
To your point a minute ago about the soft hands and the seamless catching, that was a really tough entry pass. Kind of a double clutch from Spees, but that's probably a turnover with most big men.
Yeah, because I think, especially for bigs, when you're trying to seal or duck in, you've got to try to orchestrate a way to use your body, plus try and catch the ball away from your body that you're using to fend off another human. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into posting, and he actually makes it look quite easy. Now, at the college level, he's going to put on a little more weight, but out here, he absolutely can dominate a game. I can see that already.
Game and shot clock separated by just under a second. The Panthers going to do their best to make this the last possession of the half. Spees, though, with an open 3. Can't connect. Johnson, the offensive rebound with 6 seconds. Rattles around and stays out. Now Smith, 1 second. Pulls up. and sends us to halftime wide left. But 5 straight points to end the second for Bakersfield Christian, and the Eagles looking to make it a sweep of San Joaquin Memorial this season. Goes into the break with a lead. Let's go down to Taylor Shep.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm standing by with Bakersfield Christian head coach Garrett Brown. All right, you guys make a little bit of a run to take the lead going into halftime. What adjustment did you make to start getting the flow offensively?
I don't think we really made an adjustment. I just think the guys settled down. You know, like we just got to settle down and play our game. Obviously, it's the first time for them playing on this stage, first time for me coaching on this stage. So obviously nerves are up and everything like that, but we just got to settle down and continue doing what we do. And I don't think we really changed anything. Defensively, we stopped giving them open threes, and that's really where they can hurt us is making threes. So we really want to take the three-point line away. So that's an adjustment we made defensively.
We've been talking a lot on the broadcast about how this is the third meeting, which is very rare in the state championship game. Are they doing anything differently than the previous two?
No, I mean, we just know each other really well, and I don't think we're going to surprise each other with anything that we're doing. You know, Roz does a hell of a job over there with that program, and he's a hell of a coach, so it's just going to be a war.
All right, good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Familiarity breeds contempt, and while there's respect between these two, both are dying to win the third and final of the trilogy. Bakersfield Christian goes to halftime with a 3-point lead as Taiwo Daramola throwing it down with authority. Intermission in Sacramento. Don't forget more basketball coming up this evening. The Girls Open Division Final, Ontario Christian and Archbishop Mitty. National championship implications for 2 of the top teams in the country. That'll be a good one starting right around 6 o'clock. Stay with us. For now, it's Bakersfield Christian on top of San Joaquin Memorial, 25-22 at the second half, just around the corner.
We asked.
Halftime of the CIF State Boys Division II Championship. Bakersfield Christian and San Joaquin Memorial meeting for the third time. The Eagles scored the last 7 points of the first half. Tark, these stats here, what jumps out to you?
Yeah, I mean, the bench points a little bit. San Joaquin Memorial not getting much help, but you talked about that, how they're not really, they're kind of shallow in their rotation. But to me, the three ball needs to go up. So if you're going to get zoned and you're only going to make three-pointers in the first half and you're trending for 6, I don't think that's going to get done. It may take 8 or 9 for the game.
Bakersfield Christian has already beaten San Joaquin Memorial twice this year. They're 16 minutes away from making it a sweep and a state championship. Start of the second half in Sacramento. Let's go down to Taylor Shell to kick things off.
Yeah, thanks, Cooper. San Joaquin Memorial head coach Brad Rosnovsky said that was actually the best quarter of basketball that they have played against Bakersfield Christian. He feels really happy, but the late run by the Eagles really deflated some of the guys in the locker room. He said he worked to lift their spirits, remind them, we have 16 minutes to bring home a state championship, and this is a close ball game.
That first quarter definitely was solid work for the Panthers. Big difference, though, the three-point shooting, as you said at halftime, Tark. 3 for 6 in the first quarter, 0 for 5 in the second. Allowed these Eagles of Bakersfield Christian to score the final 7 points and take a lead in the halftime, despite trailing most of the opening half.
San Joaquin Memorial finished the last 3 minutes of that half without a field goal. So they're on a little bit of a drought here, and they need to find a bucket in the worst way.
Parker Spees weaving his way through traffic. Ty Shaw. Found it interesting. He only attempted 1 3 in the first half for a 48% three-point shooter. Brad Rosnovsky said might be the best shooter on the team. Silverstrom gets him started on the right note.
It's a good start. Got to get that three-point number up. And I think San Joaquin Memorial will be happy about it if they do.
Score even at 25. Daramola gets fouled by Spees on the entry. That'll be the third on Parker Spees, so something to start watching here with 6:47 left in the third.
Daramola, I wouldn't call it a roll, but it kind of felt like a banana cut a little bit. Yep, right over the top. And Spees meets him, and he's just laid on it. And yeah, he's got his hands up, but it always cracks me up when guys, their hands are straight up, and they're just hip checking them or throwing their body into the ball handler. It's like, come on, man. We all know what's going on. Yeah, definitely a foul there. He's got to watch it the rest of the way, like you mentioned, 3 fouls.
Daramola, 3 trips to the line. He's split them all 3 times. Silverstrom, the shot, NBA 3. Just a hair short. Only the second rebound for the 6'9" Taiwo Daramola. He's been a little bit inconspicuous on that end of the floor, crashing the defensive boards.
You said it about Shock, the three-point shooting that he's capable of.
Jurasic through some contact.
And I think the 2 shots I've seen him, though, it's just 2. And there's a difference. Some shooters, they kind of get in their head, they start to aim. And if you're a shooter, you can't aim. I know that sounds really contradictory. You just got to shoot it. If you're a shooter, you've had plenty of repetition. You know what it feels like. Stop aiming. Just shoot it.
Spees, a 5-inch advantage on Jurasic. As strong as he is down low, that's going to be a tough defensive assignment all day for Owen Jurasic.
Yep. And I think you throw it down there, and you've got that one-on-one little matchup in the zone. You got to take advantage.
Kick out to Jackson. Back out to Smith. Driving. Poked out of bounds. They'll say it was touched by Shock. Stays here with Bakersfield Christian. No reset of the shot clock, though. Still 12 seconds for the Eagles. Jurasic tees one up over Spees. Smith, the offensive rebound, and then steps on the baseline.
That's okay. You clap that up. That's a tremendous crash and offensive rebound there for Braylon Smith. Just stepped out of bounds. That's okay. Love the effort.
San Joaquin Memorial has to figure something out on offense. Parker Spees, 6 out of 8 for the floor. Rest of the team, 4 for 17. They're relying heavily on their big senior.
I like it.
Silverstrom off the heel.
Good shot.
Daramola with the rebound.
I liked it. Saw the gap in it. Shot it in rhythm.
Hard screen as the jumper is short, and Silverstrom is a little slow to get up on that end for San Joaquin Memorial. Touch by Smith. It stays here with the Panthers. Sadu looking for help. Gets trapped on the baseline. And he lost it. Six turnovers now for San Joaquin Memorial. Bakersfield Christian working with their starting 5 out there. It remains Eagles basketball. Foul against Dominic Olanriwaju. Second against him. His older brother Julius actually was part of San Joaquin Memorial's 2023 championship team. Daramola couldn't finish it. Now the Panthers to the trailer shot. Halfway through the third, offense at a premium here in the second half. Silverstrom draws the foul on Daramola. He'll have to earn them at the free throw line.
Another bailout. Nice job flashing to the middle and getting this ball. But you're attacking the rim going away from it, right? And you're a big 6'9" center with length. I mean, make him try to make it over you. That's not a great foul.
Friendly bounce for Silverstrom. Jeremiah Killebrew comes back in, replacing Daniel Gutierrez for Bakersfield Christian.
Something Daramola is going to have to learn, and we talked about how he's new to the game, right? So sometimes for him, he's so long and athletic, you just got to alter shots, man. You got to block them. You don't just stand there sometimes. You're going to make people miss just by knowing you're there. Your presence alone will alter shots.
1 out of 2 for Silverstrom. Jackson all the way to the basket. Silverstrom wiped out. Olanrewaju through traffic. Out of bounds. Off his foot. Eagles basketball. 28 up in the third quarter. 3 times they've met. Twice Bakersfield Christian has won. The winner of round 3 takes home the state title. Ilo, Daramola, and Bakersfield Christian trying to beat San Joaquin Memorial for a 3rd time this year and claim the Division II Boys State Championship. It's the Eagles who have the ball here in the 3rd, tied at 28. 2.5 minutes since the Eagles scored their last point. Daramola, size advantage. Olanrewaju whistled for the foul. That'll be number 3 on Dominic Olanrewaju. Into Smith. Went down hard, and a blocking foul whistled in.
Silverstrom has been on the floor a ton this quarter. The guy is just all over the place.
That's the 4th foul on Dominic Olanrewaju. For a team that's only gone 1 man off the bench.
It's a foul. I mean, that's you're not even in position. You're basically just shoulder shivering this dude. Yeah, we gotta do better there. Gotta get coached up there. So he's got 1 foul to go here. It's a quarter and a half.
He's going to sit down for quite a while as Jalen Johnson comes in to replace him. Or Jaden Johnson, excuse me. Smith, nice move underneath. Steps under. Ends the scoring drought. 7 points for Braylon Smith. Spees has been the instant offense for San Joaquin Memorial. He's down low, defended by Daramola. Sadu, bounce pass backdoor. Johnson rejected and stolen out of the air by Daramola. Passing lane jump by Silverstrom, and Jurasic called for the foul.
Really nice block. Great play. Flash here straight to the middle of the zone. Nice bounce pass. And the big fella defending the yard. Really nice block. If I'm Spees right there, that's something he's got to get better at. So as the dribble penetration comes, you have to relocate. So he needs to maybe go from the other side of that rim right there where there's really no pass angle to right in the heart of the key if you know that the secondary defender is going to help off.
Silverstrom tosses it out of bounds, trying to find Spees.
And what I'm explaining, by the way, in real time is very difficult to do. Very difficult to think of, to know that in real time and relocate as your guard is dribbling. Not easy.
Jackson signals in the offense. He'll let Smith do the ball handling. Gets it back from him. Jurasic through the contact.
He plays with a healthy level of indifference. And that's like a nice way to put it. I mean, that guy just doesn't give a rip. I mean, what a great play there. Plays into contact. We've already seen him hit a big 3 from the top of the key. Great confidence.
Sadu short, Spees, second chance, blocked by Daramola. His defense making an impact in the third quarter. Jurasic to Daramola, up and underneath.
Here come the Eagles.
They've taken a 6-point lead.
Have to.
And a timeout for San Joaquin Memorial as the Eagles have opened up their biggest advantage of the game. And they've done it on a 6-0 run.
Really nice dribble penetration. Daramola sliding along with the drive and makes himself available. Not too much different from what I talked about with Spees. Not entirely as difficult, but still just slipping and sliding with the play to where if the dish does come, he's up with it. On the ensuing possession, the previous possession, there was an opportunity for Spees to finish. He takes an extra dribble, and that's what allowed Zoramale to get the block. So sometimes those quick ups, those coaches will teach the big men quick ups where you're basically catching and you're going straight up with it. You don't need a dribble.
San Joaquin Memorial hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes. The leading scorer, Sajin Sidhu, just 1 for 8 from the floor. Johnson into Spees.
There it is.
Soft kiss. 15 for the future Anteater.
So that's the quick up right on cue. Thank you to the basketball gods for that one. I mean, it's just a catch and go. There's no dribble. There's no sauce. And sometimes that type of rhythm can actually throw a shot blocker off the tempo.
Daramola off the feed from Jurasic. The big men taking over this game on both ends.
Now that quick up looked a lot better than the last one. It's nice to get it done. Good big men play here the last couple of plays.
Sidhu gets it to go. Just the second field goal of the day for Sidhu. Back within 3 for the Panthers. 38 to go.
Shot it with confidence. Really nice play by Sidhu there.
Killebrew off the feed from Jurasic. The offense has suddenly concentrated on Owen Jurasic.
Things are opening up. I mean, there's no question. There's a rhythm to this game that's allowing for more points to be scored, better shots to be taken, whether they go in or not, neither here nor there. But clearly the last probably 3 or 4 possessions have seen some high-quality shot making and shot creation.
Final 6 seconds, shot clock off. Silverstrom. And a travel whistled against Caden Jackson with 1.1 seconds on the clock. So Bakersfield Christian going to have to play a little more defense. And the heave from Sidhu misses off to the left. 3 quarters down. Bakersfield Christian by 5, trying to beat San Joaquin Memorial for a 3rd time. The big men taking this game over. Taiwo Daramola and Parker Spees in charge down low.
Once again, we come together.
To soar to a state championship, Brad Roznowski hoping that's not the case, telling his team it is time to fight. If you don't, you are going to lose this game.
Jaden Johnson got up to reject it off the backboard. San Joaquin Memorial trying to make things happen on the defensive end as re-entering the game is Dominic Olanrewaju. That's a notable return. He's playing with 4 fouls.
How about that block from Jaden Johnson, only a freshman? Trying to impact this game. I love it. And then all fired up, yelling to his teammates on the sideline like he was mad at him or something. I love the passion. Maybe that's the spark they need.
Johnson can't turn the defense into offense. Jackson calls his own number and missed everything right to the hands of Olanrewaju. And Shaw going to the basket and getting the favorable whistle.
In transition here. Yep. Love it. Again, got to put pressure on the defense. It's hard to play defense when you're backpedaling or running full speed and your body's doing all kinds of different things trying to play catch-up. So good on Chalk for just attacking the body, creating contact. 2 free throws for the shooter here.
Jackson Silverstrom comes back in. Jaden Johnston gets quite the welcome on the bench after his defense lit things up momentarily for the Panthers, giving them a bit of energy off the bench.
I'm going to make a prediction. Chalk makes his next 3-pointer after seeing those 2 free throws go through.
He's got 4 points. All of them have come at the line today. He's 0 for 2 from the field, both of those being from beyond the arc. Jurasic up over the 6'9" Spees.
He's got game, man.
Just an old school athlete.
Yes. Just playing ball out there. I don't think there's much thought to it.
Rims out for Silverstrom. We'll see if they work it through Jurasic. He's been the focal point of their offense in the second half. 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 helpers. Killebrew whips it back around.
San Joaquin in his zone now.
Jurasic pops. And his heat check falls short. Sadu looking to get his offense going after a very quiet first 3 quarters. Team's leading scorer and most outstanding player in the league this year. Fields it off the deflection. Still 13 to shoot. Chalk thought he got fouled. Ball came out awkwardly. Didn't hit the rim, so no reset. And Silverstrom, Spees with 2 seconds on the shot clock. San Joaquin Memorial at a Fresno, California private school, about 600 students. Second time making a state championship appearance back in 2023 in Division II. Some really, really good basketball players have come to the Panthers program. I mean, NBA level guys. The Pondexter family, Roscoe, Clifton Quincy, Robin Brooke Lopez, and most recently Jalen Green. The second overall pick of the NBA draft by the Rockets a couple years ago. Started his high school career at San Joaquin Memorial. Bakersfield Christian up by 3 points. They've beaten San Joaquin Memorial twice this year in very different games. Jurasic gets rejected by Spees, and now San Joaquin Memorial with an advantage. Silverstrom went down, retrieves his own miss. And a reset of the shot clock as Sadu dribbled it off a defender and out of bounds.
There seems to be a hesitation from the 3-point line for San Joaquin Memorial. They can't do that. You can't. You got to let it fly. You got to have confidence. Ball in the air, feet in the air, shoot it in rhythm.
Sadu perfectly in rhythm from mid-range. See if that can get him going. Just 8 points on the afternoon. He averages 16 a game. Back to a 1-point contest. Braylon Smith on the wing. Works it around to Killebrew. Gives it back as Smith into the hands of Olan Riwaju. Played a 2-point game on February 19th. Very short on the 3, but bobbled out of bounds by Smith. The San Joaquin Memorial will retain possession. Because possession was never controlled by Smith, the shot clock does not reset. The officiating crew getting it to 21. Olanuwaju off the side of the backboard and draws the foul.
Another bailout. Nice little inbounds play action. Olanuwaju probably just could have gone up with it on the near side. I don't know why he went to the other side of the rim. Nevertheless, created a horrible angle for himself, got fouled. Don't forget, he's playing with 4 fouls. So huge for him to stay out of foul trouble the rest of the way, or he is gone.
Talented sophomore hits the front end. That evens us up at 40 aside. Comes from a basketball family. His brother Julius played at San Joaquin Memorial. His dad is also a coach in the junior college ranks. Can't get them both, so we stay tied. Durasic at the free throw line to Killebrew. Jackson back down to Killebrew, gliding to the basket. They've been here before and have not gotten the results they've wanted against Bakersfield Christian. Probing his way to the basket. Spees!
What a play.
Hammers it for San Joaquin Memorial.
Love Spees with the cut there, and cuts with intent. Really nice, and then goes up and slams it home. Really nice.
Triple off the mark. And touched by the Eagles. 42 aside, 3:28 left on the clock. Parker Spees and San Joaquin Memorial trying to right 2 wrongs and walk out with a state title. Games, you need your best players to be at the top of their game. And today, that has been the case for Parker Spees of San Joaquin Memorial. 19 points, 6 rebounds, and an efficient 9 of 12 from the floor. The Panthers are going to win this game. You figure he's going to be a big part down the stretch.
The UC Irvine commit has done everything. I mean, scored inside. I think he's hit a 3. Look at Chalk getting in there for the bucket. But Spees has really been a factor on both sides of the floor and doing a pretty good job on Daramole, too. Only 11 points for him.
Eagles are the turn to answer. And they give it away. Stolen. Silverstrom twirling his way into the lane and gets the whistle.
Silverstrom just... I mean, he cradled the ball at the end like a football. Yeah. I mean, he knew it was coming. He's been on the floor the whole second half. He's playing hard, no question about it. Gotta give him that.
Spees picked off by Smith. Foot race to the basket. And Smith eats a hard foul unimpeded to the basket. So that's a big call against Silverstrom. 2 shots and the basketball for Bakersfield Christian.
Not even a question for the official. Throws up the 2 hands for intentional. I mean, this isn't even a basketball play. It's just really not. So that should be the right call. Let's see what they do here. I saw the official put his 2 hands up and cross them like intentional. Yep, we're going to have 2 technical foul shots here. Just overzealous? I don't know. A really odd play to go that aggressively in transition like that.
Either team has been very good at the free throw line today, which makes you think if one team can capitalize on their opportunities down the stretch, as Smith has done here, might be enough to be the edge over the top. Now the Eagles a chance to make this a 4 or maybe even 5-point possession after the 2 free throws are good. After the foul, Silverstrom reassigned again to Smith. Jackson. Loose on the floor. The battle ensues. And Bakersfield Christian into the hands of Smith. Killebrew moves it to Jurasic. His shot was grazed. Eagles wanted a foul and didn't get it. But the closeout by Olanrewaju, really, that's a dangerous play, but he got away with it with 4 fouls.
Yes. More of a fly-by closeout. So you have closeouts where you stay on the ground. You have closeouts where you just go all for it and you hope you don't foul the guy. Flybys are basically just trying to distract the guy while you know you're jumping through the shooter. Not through him literally, but by him.
Chalk into Spees. His shot gets redirected from behind, and Jurasic cleans it up for the Eagles. Still tied at 44. Under 2 minutes remaining in regulation. They've played twice this season. The games have gotten better each time they've met. Overtime might be fitting for this third capping game in the state finals. Under 10 seconds to shoot. Killebrew pops out, moves it along. Smith attacking, 4 seconds. Smith underneath. Daramola the offensive rebound, and the foul sends him to the line.
Great crash of the board, getting in front, fighting for an offensive rebound. Every loose ball, every rebound, every box out is going to matter here in this final 121. I mean, the ball hangs on the rim for a few seconds. And Daramole gets the rebound. Off the mark on his first free throw. Everything's going to matter here. Not that they don't from the first quarter, but there is an emphasis and a focus you have to have. State championship on the line. It's why you practice every day. It's why you run. It's why you go through routine. This is it right here.
Missed them both. Game still tied. Closing in the final minute. One of these teams will hoist a state championship trophy. We'll see if it happens in regulation. Sadu to the basket. Sadu gets it.
It's obvious to me they put
timeout on the floor as San Joaquin Memorial executing their offense and doing it through the league's most outstanding player, Sajin Sadu.
Really, really nice play. And I was saying, offensively, I think you see Spees sometimes stay out of the middle of the zone, but that's so there's more space where Sadu can cut through, or a Chalk, and you get a paint touch at the top of the key, and then you look to make a bucket or a pass. But Spees has been the top player in this game.
Yeah, Parker Spees, committed to UC Irvine, 19 points on 9 of 13. His impact, not just with the ball, but like you said, also making space for teammates, crashing the boards. He has been consuming quite a bit of gravity, I think would be a good way to put it.
No question. He touches the ball and everyone's got their eyes on him. But really what's been impressive is in the zone, his ability to operate from the short corner or from the top of the three-point line and cut off of his teammates to score baskets.
So Bakersfield Christian, 1 for their last 7 from the floor. They need a bucket here, down by 2. How do they get something that they like?
Yeah, I think you just got to be patient. I think finding a way for Daramale to touch the ball is really important, right? Whether he's creating for his team or he's scoring the basket himself. I think if I'm Coach Garrett Brown, I'm finding a way to make sure that Daramale touches the ball here.
Bakersfield Christian, twice having beaten San Joaquin Memorial, once stealing victory from the jaws of defeat. Trying to replicate that here with 40 seconds left in regulation. Owen Jurasic off the mark. Smith the rebound. Whips it back out to Jackson. Reset. Game and shot clock separated by 3 and change. Jurasic. No. Olanrewaju the rebound. He gets fouled by Daramola. Still a foul to give before we see free throws.
2 possessions there for Bakersfield Christian. Daramola doesn't touch the ball. And I just think that's a mistake. I really, really do. I like the aggression from Jurasic, but Daramola should have touched the ball there. Gives them a better chance.
Brad Rosnowski calls the timeout for San Joaquin Memorial. Well, Bakersfield Christian had a chance to tie or take the lead. Taiwo Daramola has been the focal point of their offense for most of the evening. He's done it in transition. He's done it in the low post. But as you said, Tara, interesting to see him go without a touch in the most consequential possession of the game for the Eagles.
I think if you're Eurostic, there was a little flare screen for him. He shoots the three. They get the ball back. Fantastic. How about getting him out, getting that ball back out and trying to get Daramola the ball, and they don't do that. So I could sense even just looking at the bench right now, Daramola a little frustrated, thinking, man, I could have touched the ball there and maybe made a play. But a lot of game left in this. There is certainly another possession for Bakersfield Christian in this game. Maybe 2 or 3.
San Joaquin Memorial's defense deserves all the credit in the world, holding Bakersfield Christian to 6 fourth-quarter points and just 1 for their last 9 from the field. Trying to get over the finish line and over the hump of what has been such a frustrating matchup for them this season. Team that beat them early in the year and beat them soundly. Beat them again in the sectionals to eliminate them. Sadu. Question on who it touched. Bakersfield Christian calls a timeout.
Coach Brad Rosnowski's got to do a better job. You got to find a way to get this ball inbound safe, and I don't know if inbounding the ball in that corner is a good idea in this situation. Find a way to maybe flatten guys out. See, he had guys lined up in a vertical line. I think flattening them out and getting width on the floor is generally a good way to go.
More basketball to come tonight. Top of the hour, Ontario Christian and Archbishop Mitty in the Girls Open Division Final, a game that features 2 of the top 5 teams in the country. That's consensus, regardless of what rankings you consult.
It's not. This one's probably going to be the best one of the weekend. I mean, there's no question. And there's a couple things on the line, like how about a national championship? Ontario Christian is in that conversation if they can beat Archbishop Mitty. Not to mention, Mitty has lost 4 straight open finals. Could they lose their 5th, or could they finally get over the hump? And I'll tell you what's going to help them. Chloe Jenkins, the star freshman for Ontario Christian, is not playing tonight. She's in concussion protocol. That's news that broke just about 30-40 minutes ago. So it makes things more interesting this evening.
Well, if you're not familiar with that matchup, those 2 teams played maybe the game of the year in January at the KL Classic at Mater Dei. A double overtime thriller where Kalina Smith put half 100 on the Monarchs.
I like the way you said that. Half 100.
The Bakersfield Christian awarded the possession. That's huge. Shot clock is off. They can hold for the last possession of regulation. Into Killebrew. Daramola strip going up. Foul call against Spees and free throws. The biggest of the game coming for Taiwo Daramola.
So Daramola's got to the free throw line a little bit earlier in crunch time and missed both free throws. So I'm wondering if he's thinking about that. You can't. You got to clear your mind, get to a routine, whatever it is. A couple dribbles, a deep breath, whatever your free throw routine is, this is where you depend on it. That's why it's so important to have one.
3 for 8 at the stripe for Daramola today. Do you think about missing this intentionally?
No. No. Too much time. Only a 2-point game, 14 seconds. You want to make it.
Splits them. Timeout Eagles. 13.8 seconds left. An opportunity to tie the game at the free throw line. But Bakersfield Christian unable to convert. Now San Joaquin Memorial, 13.8 seconds separating them from avenging 2 earlier losses, including one in the sectional playoffs to Bakersfield Christian, and winning their 2nd state championship in program history. What do you think is going through the minds of these players, knowing how close they came just a couple of weeks ago to beating Bakersfield Christian, only to see that game slip away, and now knowing they have a 1-point lead and less than 14 seconds on the clock?
I think we're thinking that. I don't know if they're thinking that exactly, but I get what you're saying. There might be a little bit of just, man, finally we got this team where we want them. But there is so much left in this game. They have to put it away with getting the ball in bounds, which is scary enough, and then making free throws.
They've turned it over 11 times today, and they get it in. Silverstrom has it. He gets fouled with 10.1 seconds left. He'll go to the free throw line.
Great job running the baseline, clearly instructed from the coach. Whether it be just now or in practice, right? You work on inbounds or press break, and to free yourself up after a made bucket, you can run the baseline.
A huge miss at the line from Silverstrom. So Bakersfield Christian will get the ball back. The question is, will the deficit be 1 or 2? Missed them both. Any basket wins the game for the Eagles. Jurasic looking for Daramola, out of bounds. San Joaquin Memorial ball, 4.2 seconds left, but still they need to get it in bounds.
The decision-making by Jurasic down the stretch has been poor. I mean, that's just the truth.
Final timeout taken by San Joaquin Memorial.
Isn't it interesting for a coach to win this ball game? You got to get creative on how to just get the ball in bounds. It's not, usually it's, man, how are we going to draw it up to get the bucket to win the game? How are we going to get our best guy in an operational area? There's so many different facets you think of in the backyard or whatever, in a dream or some fantasy or even in a movie. And right now, Coach Brad Rosnovsky's got to find a way to draw something up so the ball just needs to get inbounds safely. And I tell you what, if you've got length on the ball, I can guarantee you Bakersfield Christian's going to put Daramola on the ball, right, and make things difficult. And it's a dead ball, so it's not after a made bucket. There's no running the baseline now for San Joaquin Memorial. This is a challenging inbounds here.
They've asked Dominico Lanruwaju to do the inbounding the last couple of sequences. Defense has been the story of this game. San Joaquin Memorial has held Bakersfield Christian without a field goal for more than 4 minutes down the stretch of this game. An inbound pass, perhaps some free throws, and 4 seconds separating the Panthers from winning the state championship. The matchup, exactly as you predicted. Daramola in the face of Olan Riwaju. Has to get it in. Heaves it. Spees has it. Throws it into the air. And the clock runs out.
What a finish.
Joaquin Memorial hangs on to win the state championship. And how fitting that in the closing second, it is Parker Spees who wins the game with a play of IQ.
Unbelievable. What a gutsy toss. I tell you what, that ball's in the air was like slow motion to me. I'm thinking, uh-oh, that's not going to turn out good. But you're right. Spees basically runs to it like a wide receiver, doesn't wait, goes and gets it. Probably the best 50-50 ball he's ever come down with, and then just tosses it in the air for time to run out. And on the final play of his state championship, he wins it.
For Parker Spees is a state champion for the second time. He's down on the floor with Taylor Shaw.
Yeah, that's right, guys. I am standing with the hero as everybody in the crowd is shouting his name. Tark just said that was the best 50-50 ball you probably ever gotten, and you threw it up in the air to bring home a state championship. How does this moment feel?
It feels surreal, man. I'm so proud of my guys, everything we've gone through. This is what seasons are made of. I'm happy. It's not easy to win 5 games in the postseason, but we executed. I'm so proud. I'm going to cherish this forever.
Not easy to win 5 games in the postseason. Not easy to beat this Bakersfield Christian team. A team that has beat you twice this year. You get revenge when it matters the most. How tough of a game, how tough of a fight was this?
It was great. You know, we knew they were going to give us their best game, but we were ready as well. We were super locked in the whole way. And, you know, I mean, what better way to end it than beating a team that beat you two times already? So when we saw them in the schedule, we were amped up for sure.
Amped up, and now a state champion. Go celebrate.
Appreciate it. Guys.
San Joaquin Memorial holds Bakersfield Christian without a field goal for the final 4 minutes and 6 seconds of the game. It was hairy at the end. They needed a stop, and they got it in crunch time. The Panthers are the champions of Division II on the boys' side. Second state title in program history. 2 more games still to come. The Open Division girls up next. For now, signing off from the Golden One Center alongside Tarek Patel and Taylor Schaub. I'm Cooper Perkins saying thanks for watching, and we hope you'll stick around for more basketball tonight. It's only going to get better.
Anyone home?